everybody. Keep it going for Hannah. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming. Oh my God, this is great. This is going to be great. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be out of the house. I just had a baby 4 months ago. I became a dad for the first time. Yes. We donated her to the troops though, so Trump's not going to bring these fucking boys home. They need a morale boost. So we shipped that shit over to Iraq, and it's been good. I don't know. It's good. It's good. The delivery, though, was scary. The delivery was terrifying. Nobody prepped me. Nobody fucking prepped me. Everybody prepped my wife. Nobody gave a shit about me. They were like, they're telling her, this is where you need to be. This is what's going to happen. And I was like, what do I do? And they're like, just fucking stand in the corner. Nobody cares about you. I was like, oh, I'll watch some movies where a delivery happens, and it'll be like the movies. And it's nothing like the movies, because every fucking newborn in a movie is 8 years old, okay? They're just not newborns. They're not. And nobody told me how much my wife was going to shit all over the baby. Nobody said it. Nobody even fucking mentioned it. She shit all over my daughter. She was covered in shit. She looked like she had been dipped in a porta potty at a construction site. It was disgusting. The doctor's like, do you want to hold her? And I was like, fucking hose her off, dude. Ugh. That was the first thing I said to my daughter. My wife's like, is she beautiful? I was like, oh, she smells terrible. It's nothing like the movies. In the movies, Dad always cuts the umbilical cord. So I was prepped. I was ready. Whole weeks leading up to the delivery, I was fucking practicing on everything in my apartment. I'm cutting vacuum cords and fucking Twizzlers, drawstrings, anything I can find. And the delivery happens, and there's so many moving parts, and I just didn't get to do it. And I was pissed. I was upset. I was angry. And the doctor saw me and was like an hour after my daughter was born, he's like, what's wrong? I was like, I didn't get to cut the umbilical cord. And he's like, do you still want to do it? And I was like, what? And then he reached into the trash can and he dug it out. I swear to God. And then he gave it to a nurse. They held it like a limbo stick. And they gave me a pair of scissors. Not even medical scissors, okay? These are like arts and crafts scissors that are like rusted that you find in your grandmother's junk drawer. I felt like I was a Make-A-Wish kid, like that kid they let become Batman for a day, you know? It would have been great if they had like comically huge scissors, like I was doing a ribbon cutting at a new building that was opening. I was very, when you're a dad and you're in the delivery room, I had such an appreciation for my wife. She did an amazing job. It was crazy. She pushed for 3 hours. And those of you who haven't delivered, that's a really fucking long time to be pushing. And at like 2 hours, the doctor looks at me and goes, this is taking a long time. I was like, what's going on? He goes, listen, I don't think that there's enough room for the baby to come through the birth canal. And I decide that this is the time that I'm going to take a peek. And let me just say, it should be illegal to take a peek. It should be a fucking crime against the state to take a peek. And I look, and without exaggeration, it's going to get gross, and without exaggeration, I look, and this doctor, has got both of his hands up to the wrist inside my wife's vagina. Okay? Now, granted, I will say, I am new to gynecology, okay? I'm new. But maybe, just maybe, there's no room for the baby because you've got your fists in her pussy, dude! What are you looking for? He kept making the face like he was looking for his fucking keys in the couch cushions. No, I'm so close. It's fucking uncomfortable. So my wife did a great job. She pushed for 3 hours. I'm like, I'm gonna be a good dad. First diaper, I'm fucking changing the first diaper. So she shits, and I go in to change. And if you've seen the first diaper of a newborn, you open it, and it's the gates of hell. It's just a color that you didn't even know was humanly possible. I go in and I'm trying to wipe her, and I just can't figure it out. I'm just like literally smearing shit all over. I'm like painting like Bob Ross. Like, let's get some black and a little bit more black with some red. And my wife comes into the room and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I have no fucking clue. She's like, don't you wipe yourself every day? I'm like, yeah, but not at this angle. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done it from this angle. I feel like I'm trying to sign my name with my feet. I'm so confused. It's fun being a dad. I like being a dad. A lot of dads, moms, they do baby talk. They talk to their baby like, I'm not going to call people out. I don't do that. I don't talk to my baby with baby talk. I talk to my daughter like she's an adult, like I would interact with an adult in 2020, okay? I hold my daughter in my arms. I look her dead in the eyes. And I say, who are you voting for? Okay? That's what I do. Who? Who are you doing? We've got to fucking resist. My wife is doing a thing, she doesn't think I know what she's doing, and I fucking know what she's doing, where she's talking shit about me to our baby. She thinks I don't know because she does it in a baby voice. She's like, I'll be in the other room and she'll be holding her, and she's just like, Daddy's getting fat. Yes, he is. Daddy's getting fat. You don't know. Daddy's not using his Rogaine, but he should because he looks like shit. Oh my God. Now that I'm a parent, I think back at all the stuff my dad used to do, my mom used to do, and how they parented me. And I remember, like, when I was a kid, anytime I disagreed with my parents, they would say the same thing. I don't know if your parents did this. They would say the same thing. They go, listen, when you're a parent, you understand. And I hated it. It made me crazy every time they say it. And now that I'm a parent, I fucking say it all the time. I say it all the time because it's the easiest thing to get out of something that you can't explain. Like, I do it for things that have nothing to do with being a dad, too. Like, one of my friends was like, well, why doesn't Starbucks offer pumpkin spice latte the whole year? When you're a parent, you'll understand. And he's like, well, what does that have anything to do with being a parent? And I was like, you're not a parent, so you don't understand. He's like, what? But people love it. Why don't they just have it? Listen, you don't understand. And he's like, why? I'm like, listen, when you're a parent, you'll understand. So my daughter started daycare this week, which has been it's been a hard transition. We dropped her off, and I almost started crying. I had to leave. It's very emotional. Today, though, I swear to God, this happened today. I dropped my daughter off. I gave her to one of the aides. I started packing her milk away, and I went to the bathroom, and I came back to say goodbye. And I go to the aide, and I go to kiss my daughter on the head, and I kiss her. And then the aide looks at me and goes, she's like, what? And then I look down, not my daughter. She's a totally different fucking kid. Not even, I didn't know what to do. I just started kissing all the babies. I fucked the security guard on the way out. I was just... Everybody talks about the good things about being a dad. Not a lot of people talk. When you're a new parent, like, people don't know this. When you were born, when every one of you were born, your parents fucking hated each other. And no one talks about that because it's so stressful when you have a newborn. They're crying all the time. They're not sleeping. You don't know what you're fucking doing. The minutes that they're asleep, you hate each other. You don't even want to be in the same room. My wife and I are two strangers living in the same apartment. We're like Craigslist roommates, okay? I was in the bedroom and I heard her in the kitchen and I was hungry and I was just like, I'll eat tomorrow. I don't want to talk to her ever. I hate it. It's hard. It's frustrating because you're not like connecting like you used to before you're a parent. Like, we're not having sex like we used to. We haven't had sex in fucking forever. I'm filled to my eyeballs with cum right now. It's like she doesn't feel sexy. She doesn't feel sexy. And I asked my therapist, how do I make my wife feel sexy? And he said, why don't you try watching porn together? That was what he said. So I said, okay, I'll try. And he was like, I asked my wife, I'm like, do you want to watch porn? And she's like, sure. And I said, what genre of porn do you want to watch? And she said, why don't we just watch what you usually watch? Yeah, no fucking way. Pass. This is a trap. If we watch what I watch, we are not having sex, okay? We are having a discussion, all right? We haven't had sex since like the 5th month of pregnancy, it's been a long time. And she was very scared during the pregnancy. It's very common for women to feel this way. She was scared that I was going to injure the baby during sex. Okay, that's a very common fear that women have. She was scared that, like, inside my penis was going to, like... just dent my baby's forehead. My baby just comes out with a soup bowl for a fucking... I was like, we don't know what we're doing. Well, let's ask the doctor. Let's ask the OBGYN. So we go to the OBGYN appointment, and my wife goes, listen, I know this is crazy, but is there any way that his penis can injure the baby during sex? And the doctor just looks at me and goes, his penis? No would have fucking worked. You could have said no. No would have been a perfectly fine answer. Just, I don't know. I haven't had sex. I didn't know this. When you don't have sex for a while, you just start having wet dreams again. That just happens in your 30s when you don't have sex for a while. Is there any... Listen, it's a very common thing. So is there any guy who's willing to admit that he's had wet dreams as an adult? Anybody? Please, somebody make a fucking noise! Who? You did? You said yes? Who said yes? You're just pointing to a guy. Don't make me feel good. Oh, you did right there? You did? That's great. Give this guy a round of applause. Yes. What's crazy is I'm not having wet dreams, but we found out this guy... No, I do. I had a wet dream. I'll tell you about the most recent wet dream. Let me get more specific. I'm sorry. The most recent wet dream I had, I was on a cross-country flight. Okay? Let me be more specific. I was in the middle seat on a 6-hour cross-country flight. You know how hard it is to fly in the middle seat for 6 hours? Try doing it with a crotch full of cum, okay? It is a fucking nightmare. Imagine sitting next to a guy and 3 hours into a flight, you just hear, Let's just say we didn't fight about the armrest anymore, okay? I care that I haven't had sex, but I'm not like fucking because I just didn't have sex with a lot of women before I met my wife, you know. And I don't want to tell you the number because it is embarrassing. But what I will tell you is that there are more Fast and the Furious movies than women I've had sex with. And the true thing is that was true 6 movies ago. Quit fucking making them, Jesus. When Paul Walker died, I was like, thank God. And oh, shut up. I got single friends. Tough having single friends when you're married and not having sex because they have all the fun sex stuff that you're not having. Like one of my friends told me recently that he was hooking up with a girl and she showed up at his apartment wearing a trench coat, okay? And underneath the trench coat was just a one-piece jumpsuit lingerie with a hole in the vagina area so that you could have sex without taking it off. And I tried to relate and was like, yeah, no, my wife's underwear does have holes, okay, but they're not in the right spot. They are in the hip area, so... We've been fighting on and off a little bit since the baby. I told her, I don't know, I turned 30 and I just wanted to get a tattoo. I want to get a tattoo on my bicep. I want to get a tattoo. And she did not like that. She wasn't happy. And she's like, why? And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like I need a change. And she's like, well, you can't do that. And I was like, why? And she's like, because if you get a tattoo, we can't be married. We can't be buried in the same Jewish cemetery. And I was like, yeah. Why do you fucking think I'm doing it? Okay? I need a goddamn break from this shit. It's a nightmare. I joke. No, I love my wife. She's very. She's a better person than I am. She's great. She eats healthy, which is I eat like shit. I just scuffed like 7 slices of pizza outside. She eats healthy every day because she said she wants to live to 108 years old. 108 years old. Too fucking old. That's way too old. It's crazy. And now I know she wants to be a burden on everybody we've ever met. That's your life at 108. You can't walk, you can't wipe your ass, you can't do shit for yourself. And I don't think you're even doing it right. I don't think you get to 108 by eating healthy. You get to 90 by eating healthy. You get to 108 by being fucking weird. Like every 108-year-old they interview on the news, they're like, what's your secret? And every one of them's like, I cook all my food in Dr. Pepper. That's what I do. That's what I do. On Wednesdays, I like to eat paper exclusively, okay? I sleep with a bowling ball since Nixon was in office, okay? I got jury duty recently. You ever have a jury duty? Yeah, did you like it? No? I don't want to do it. I've deferred it like 5 or 6 times, and I just can't. I don't know. I can't do it. And I can't defer it anymore, and I need a way to get out of it. So I texted a couple of my friends, like, how do I get out of jury duty? And if you want to know which of your friends are racist, ask them how to get out of jury duty. Because every one of them said, just say you hate black people. Every one of them. Every single one of them. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. I'll try it. I don't know if it's going to work. Like, what if I try it and it just doesn't work? Like, what if I go up there and they're like, is there any reason that you can't serve on this jury? And I'm like, yes, I hate black people. And the judge is just like, okay. This case has nothing to do with black people. So go sit up on that jury next to the guy who says he fucks his dog. A lot of racism in the world right now. A lot of racism in the world. A lot of people getting in trouble for doing blackface back in the 90s. Anybody here do blackface? Anybody? No? It's not good. It's not good. We shouldn't have done it. And I'm going to admit, when I was a kid, I almost did it. I didn't know it was a bad thing. I was 12 years old. I'm not a racist person. I just didn't correlate the two things. Like, as Halloween, I'll tell you the story. When I was 12 years old for Halloween, I wanted to go as the Jackson 5. My friends and I wanted to go as the Jackson 5. And, we go to the costume. We go to the costume store. We buy all these costumes, the bell bottoms and the big afro and stuff. We buy a bunch of makeup, and I tell my parents, "Hey, I'm going to be Jermaine Jackson." And they're like, "You're not going to paint your face black." And I was like, "I'm going to do it." And they're like, "No, you're not." So I didn't do it. Thank God, they thank God for my parents. But I called my friends and was like, "Hey, my parents won't let me do it." And they're like, "Okay, well, we're still doing it." I was like, "Okay," but my dad was like cheap and didn't want to throw out the costume. So instead of doing that, I wore the whole Jackson 5 outfit, but then just put the makeup under my eyes like eye black and put a baseball mitt on my hand and said that I was Reggie Jackson. Which made no fucking sense. No sense. Is it worse than doing blackface? Yeah. No. Is it pretty close? Yes, it's pretty close. No one asked these kids what they were doing. At every fucking house, people were like, "What are you?" And I was like, "Well, I am culturally sensitive, is what I am." My parents are getting older. They love seeing movies. I can't go to the movies with my parents anymore. I'm done seeing movies with my parents because every time I see a movie with my mother, she doesn't like the movie for a reason that no other person has ever not liked a movie. Okay, we went and we saw the Mr. Rogers movie. Okay, I liked it. My mom leaves, and I was like, "What'd you think?" And she's like, "I didn't like it." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because Tom Hanks looked nothing like Mr. Rogers." You want to know why? He's an entirely different fucking person. That's why. We got lucky with Will Smith looking like Muhammad Ali, okay? And we got lucky with Jamie Foxx looking like Ray Charles. We got lucky with all the other black actors that look like people, but it's not easy for white actors. It's not. There's only one white actor who can really disappear in a role, and that's Daniel Day-Lewis. He's the only guy, okay? He's the only one, yes. To be honest, I don't even know what Daniel Day-Lewis looks like. I have no idea. One time I was like, "I think that's Daniel Day-Lewis," and my friend was like, "That's my Uncle Kevin. What are you talking about?" I don't know. Like when Daniel Day-Lewis was in Lincoln, people lost their minds. People were like, "Oh my God, did you see? You couldn't tell the difference. You could not tell the difference between Abraham Lincoln and Daniel Day-Lewis." How do you fucking know? It's 160 years ago. There's no videos of Lincoln. There's no recordings of Lincoln. There's like 2 photographs. One of them is money, okay? We don't even know what this side of Lincoln's face looks like. We don't even top hat here. We don't even know what his voice is. People think that he had this like prophetic presidential voice, like 4-score, and so he could have just been like, "Nah, 4-score 7 years ago." I live here. I love New York. I really love it here. It's a unique city. It's the only city in the world, I think, where you can have a best friend and never see where they live. Right? Everyone's got one friend who are like 3 trains and a ferry. Fuck you. I'm never talking to you. Never. There's a guy who's a groomsman in my wedding. I don't even know what borough he lives in. I gave him his invitation on the subway like a drug deal. I said, don't fucking tell anybody. I don't... Because you ever try to get to New Jersey, like from Queens to New Jersey, it takes 2 days. It's impossible to do it. Everybody just meets in the middle. That's what you do. You don't go to people's places. You meet in the middle. People are like, come to the Upper West Side. No, you come to Park Slope. All right, let's meet in this abandoned school on the Lower East Side. That's easier. Yeah, let's do that. No, they have phone. You can charge your phone there. They have outlets. You can do that. I know that's all you care about. You can do that. It's just too hard. So like, this is what we do. We need a feature on Google Maps. Feels like feature, like they have on the weather app. Okay, where you like it's like 25, but it feels like 10 with the wind chill. We need that on Google Maps, where you put in a location of like Astoria, Queens, 2 miles, but it feels like 80. Okay. It's Staten Island, 6.5 miles away. It feels like getting hit by a car. It's a nightmare. I like it here, but I don't think people should be allowed to visit me. I think that should be a rule. You shouldn't be allowed to visit me because I can't do any more fucking tourist shit. I can't do it. I can't walk on the High Line one more fucking time. I'm gonna put a bullet in my fucking head. I'm gonna blow my brains out. It's an above ground sidewalk. That's all it is. That's it. You're 11 feet off the fucking ground. People walk on the thing like it's the fucking Great Wall of China. It's ridiculous. You could fall off the High Line and just be like, I'm totally fine. Everything's... No, my knees are good. Didn't even break a sweat. It's totally okay. It's so cool. This is what you do. You walk on the High Line. You go like this. You walk like this for 2 hours. There's fucking 1 million people up there. It's great. It's so cool. You can look into all the rich people's apartments. Leave them the fuck alone. You didn't earn that lifestyle. You walk on the street like a peasant, okay? I think, though, as New Yorkers... or New Jerseyans, or whatever the fuck you people live, I think we need to come together and decide how much a banana costs, okay? Because it is chaos. It is lawless in this city. There are no uniform pricing on bananas, right? It's international waters. People are doing whatever they want. And I'll prove it. On the count of 3, say how much you think a banana costs. 1, 2, 3. $1. Okay, what'd you say? 20 cents? I heard $1. What'd you say? 3? 3 cents? $1. Fucking idiot. $1? You're an idiot. You're a moron. I'm not... I should kick you out of the show. I should kick you out of the fucking show. Guess what? Whatever you said, you're all right. You're all right. People are doing whatever they want. I was on the street. I bought a banana for $1. Okay? I walked 25 blocks and saw 5 bananas for $1. That is 80 fucking years of inflation. I got down to 14th Street and was like, who's president down here? What year is it? Are the schools still segregated? Jesus Christ, what's happening? Everybody's PC these days. Everyone's upset. You can't say whatever you want. You just can't say whatever you want anymore. And it's good. It's good that way. We shouldn't be allowed to say whatever we want. But there is one group of people that can still say whatever they want. And we all know that group of people. Let's say it on the count of 3 together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gay spin instructors. What? One time I did that and the guy in the front row goes, Chinese people. I didn't know that was a stereotype. Okay. Have you ever taken a spin class with a gay spin instructor? There are no rules. They do whatever they want. They're calling women sluts. They're smacking people on the asses. They're like ad execs in the 1950s. They're just... People are like, there's no way Mad Men could happen in 2020. Go to Flywheel on 14th Street, okay? Take a class with Christian. He'll call you a cunt. I guarantee it. A lot of celebrity. Anybody have a good celebrity sighting in New York? Anybody? Yeah? Who?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga? That's a good one. Where'd you see her?
I used to work at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel.
Okay, cool. I was on the subway recently and I saw Timothy Chalamet. Do you know who that is?
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, he's so fucking hot. He's so hot. So I was on the subway with my wife. And she wasn't paying attention to me because she hates me. And I see Timothy Chalamet on the other end of the subway. And I was just like, he's so fucking hot. And I'm like staring at him like for like 5 minutes. And I started to have the thought like, what if Timothy Chalamet came up to me and was like, I want to kiss you? Like, what would you do? And I would do it. I would like definitely do it. Like, why wouldn't I do it? It's Timothée Chalamet. And then I was like, well, what if he was like, I want to do more? Like, would I do? And I was like, yeah, I probably have sex with Timothée Chalamet. Like, why would I not do that? He's so hot. And I'm just like, what if he wanted to just like? And I'm like 3 years into a relationship with Timothée Chalamet. I'm like daydreaming about blowing Timothée Chalamet and moving up to the Hudson Valley and getting a fucking cottage and a fucking Fiat and a Bernese Mountain Dog. And I'm just daydreaming about waking up next to him for like the next 50 years. And I tap my wife on the shoulder to be like, hey, look, that's Timothée Chalamet. And she just looks at me and goes, no, it's not. That's just a 17-year-old boy. So I don't know what happened, but when you're a parent, you'll understand. So one of the things that people love and hate about New York is that there are no rules. There are really no rules here. You can do whatever you want. Just don't walk here. Fuck you. I'm walking. Doesn't matter. Like, there's 2 2nd Avenue delis in New York. There's 2 2nd Avenue delis, and neither of them are on 2nd Avenue. Neither of them. You couldn't do that in any other city. If you went to Milwaukee and said, I'm opening up a 2nd Avenue deli, and they said, where is it? And you said, 3rd Avenue, they'd put you in jail. That's what they would do. The city is so big that, like, just through, like, the city just tries to kick people out. That's what they do. They try and show you something where you're like, I can't take anymore, I gotta go. And I think he tried to kick me out recently. I was at 34th Street and 7th Avenue, which is like one of the busiest intersections in New York. And I see this guy walking towards me. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like a Monday. I see this guy walking towards me, and he's in a suit. He's like dressed up. He's like well shaven, and he takes a couple steps towards me, and he takes his briefcase and he puts it on the sidewalk, and then he pulls his pants down and he takes a shit right in the center of the street. This isn't like a crazy homeless guy screaming about fucking chemtrails. This is like a government tax-paying, like a nice guy. And I swear to God, he starts hysterically crying and screaming to everybody on the street, guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't hold it in. Please don't look at me. And my first thought was, I fucking get it, dude. I totally get it. I totally get it. I wanted to be his personal cop and just be like, there's nothing to see here, people. Back up. Because it's so hard to shit in this city. It's impossible to find a toilet in this city. Every bathroom is locked up like the fucking Declaration of Independence is behind it. Open up every morning I leave my apartment and say, what part of Manhattan do I want to shit my pants in right now? That's what you commit to when you live here. I joined a gym so that I would have 38 more locations to shit. Yeah, that's the only reason. I've never worked out there. I don't even know if they have machines, okay? I walk in, I tip my hat, I say, hello, nice to meet you. I'm British, I don't know. I leave 9 minutes later, they know exactly what I did. I've scattered them, like, I joined this specific gym because it has all of these, like, points on the way home to my house. I've, like, made this, like, underground railroad of bathrooms in the city. The worst thing is when you go into, like, a store or a restaurant, and you're like, hey, can I gotta go to the bathroom. And they're like, yeah, we don't have a bathroom. What are you guys doing the whole day? What are your employees doing? Are they shitting in a bucket in this fucking Hollister? Is that what's happening? They're going, hey, Greg, I gotta go on break and use the shit bucket. All right, I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you the moment I learned I was becoming a dad, and then I'll leave. Thank you, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. You were great. Make sure round of applause for all your wait staff. They were awesome. Make sure you tip them a lot of money. They were great. So I wanted to be a dad for a while. I was really excited about it. My dad was a great dad. I wanted to pass that forward. I was excited. It was a little bit of a surprise because we thought it would take a while, but it was a surprise. And my wife tells me that she's pregnant, and I immediately start crying. It was very emotional for me. I've been wanting to be a father. And the second thing she says after she says I'm pregnant is, now that I'm pregnant, I'm retiring from giving blowjobs. That was what she said. The next thing, retiring. Hang her jersey in the rafters. She's retiring, people. That's like Michael Jordan retiring from acting. You did it one time, okay? You did it once, and it was weird the whole fucking time. Thank you guys so much. You guys are great. Goodbye.